Good afternoon, my friends. I'm here to give you a short. I know I always say I'm going to give you a short and it goes long. I can't help myself. I want to give you information, and then I keep on thinking of things. I say, oh, let me give them a little more, let me give them a little more. So let's just say this is going to be mid-sized. Today I want to talk to you about how to live your life in a way that you don't allow things to sneak up on you, that you don't allow things to slowly fall away from you because you've not thought about it. And then one day, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you find yourself in a position that you need drastic help to even get to some place of normalcy. So how do we do this? If you start today to live aware, to pay attention, to make markers, frames of reference. Today I can do this. If you got to write it down, write it down. A month later, go back. Can I still do this? Can I do it better? Or has my skill degraded? We need to pay attention because life passes quickly. And before we know it, we're not the person we used to be. No, I'm not defying aging. Aging goes on. I can't do the things that I did as a gymnast at 17 years old. But I can surely do the things that I did 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, and even better to some extent. But that took paying attention. That took being honest with myself. So many people that I speak to take aging and degradation. They just take it. They say things like, well, I used to do this. I ride my bicycle down into town every day. And I come upon Starbucks and all the characters that usually stay there are there in their little cliques. And many of them make comments towards me. They say, oh, I used to ride my bike. And I asked them, you used to ride your bike? How come you don't ride it today? Well, you know, I got a bad knee and it hurts my back and it's too hot out and it's too dangerous. And they make up a myriad of excuses for not moving their body. It's just one example of not being honest with oneself. I realize every day, if I take a few days off, if I take a vacation from myself, I can see it doesn't take long before little things fall away. But when I participate in my life, I can see it doesn't take long for things to get better. I practice my piano 5-6 days a week. I don't practice long because I don't like to overburden myself. Somewhere between an hour and 45 minutes. And as I've been doing this, I'm not getting magnificently better. I'm not a virtuoso, but day by day, these fingers move better. My hand-to-eye coordination gets better. My ear gets better. My ability to read music gets better, which is the most difficult thing for me right now. The point is, I'm honest with myself, but I don't beat myself up. Why don't I beat myself up? Because I know that I'm doing the best that I can. Can you say that? Or are you just riding the wave that ends in death, or in sickness, or in disability, or in pain? I'll be 76 in less than 3 months. Well, almost exactly 3 months now. I feel great. 90% of the time I feel great, and if I don't, I'm honest with myself. I say, oh, what did you do yesterday? What did you do the day before? What have you done differently that would change your sense of being? That's called paying attention. And when you find something is not quite right, where do you go for help? Please, 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 please. I'm on social media. Don't go to social media for help. Don't ask chat for help. Don't ask Google for help. And please, before you go to a Western doctor who is going to do a very fixed procedure upon you, a very fixed protocol that has to do with your presentation and nothing to really do with your situation, I would encourage you. I know this is going to sound like an advertisement, but I would encourage you to find someone like myself. I'm a very different physician. I'm not an MD. I'm licensed as a primary care physician in the state of Florida. And I know what I'm doing. Why do I know what I'm doing? Because 24 and a half years ago, I was told, you'll be dead in less than a year. We have no treatment for you. Go home and die. Here's a bunch of pain pills. Oh, by the way, let me take your spleen out while we're at it. And yeah, just for a joke, let's give you some chemo. I asked them why. Is it going to do me any good? They said no. I said, well, you're just trying to build my insurance company, aren't you? And I left them. I had a choice at that point. Choose to die or choose to live. And I chose to live, and then I had to answer the questions. How is this going to happen? Now, being an old troubleshooter, I figured it out. And I'm well today. It took me a while, but I'm well today. And I brought other people from this side to this side. From disease to health. To short life to longevity. You need to be aware. Be honest. Make good choices about your health care. And be willing to give up the things that you see as pleasure, but they're killing you. I don't drink. I don't take drugs. I don't do things that harm me. This is not my nature. Anyone who knew me would say, Gabriel takes a ton of drugs. Gabriel drinks like an animal. Gabriel is this and Gabriel is that. That was then. That terminal diagnosis was a blessing because I was willing to make a choice and say, I want to live, but that means all of this has got to go away and this new stuff has got to come in. Now, I'm not going to make this long now. I promised. So I'm going to leave you with that short little story about myself and with those suggestions that I gave at the beginning of the video. And I hope that these words were not wasted, that they did not go over your head or in one ear and out the other. If they offend you, ask yourself why. If they frighten you, ask yourself why. If they attract you, ask yourself why. Be honest with yourself. I love you so, my friends. You be well. You be well.